Hello and welcome to the devotions for today, the 10th of June. A little bit later than I anticipated. As you can see, I've got wet hair. I've been for a run again this morning, which was rather a warm one. Today though, I'm just going to share with you the reading that I've been looking at in my Our Daily Bread book. And for today, the reading is Ezekiel chapter 32, verses 2 to 10. I'm not going to read it all. It does mention it in the reading, which I will share in a second. But the verse they have picked out is, "You are like a lion among the nations. You are like a monster in the seas." That's how Pharaoh saw himself. Now, I don't know about you, but spending so much time looking at myself when we're on Zoom calls with different people, you do tend to notice things about yourself. Most of the time I've sat there looking at myself, which is probably not a very good thing to do, usually thinking, you look like your mum. And then very occasionally, when I've been looking at somebody else who's talking on camera, and then I just have a quick glimpse back at myself, I think, actually, no, you don't. You look like your dad. I'm still mixed up about who I look like. Most people would say my dad. But how do other people see me? How does God see me? This is where the daily reading comes in. The leader of our video conference said, "Good morning." I said, "Hello" back, but I wasn't looking at him. I was distracted by my own image on the screen. Do I look like this? I looked at the smiling faces of the others on the call. That looks like them. So yeah, this must be true. I should lose some weight and get a haircut. Could be talking about me. In his mind, Pharaoh was pretty great. He was a lion among the nations, a monster in the seas. But then he caught a glimpse of himself from God's perspective. God said he was in trouble, and that he would expose his carcass to wild animals, causing many peoples to be appalled at you, and their kings to shudder with horror because of you. I hope nobody does that because of me. Pharaoh was much less impressive than he thought. We may think that we are spiritually handsome until we see our sin, the bad things, as God sees it. And compared to his holy standard, even our righteous acts are like filthy rags. But God also sees something else in us, something even more true. He sees Jesus, and he sees us in Jesus. That's good news, isn't it? Are you feeling discouraged about how you are, as opposed to who you are? It's not about who you are. If you have put your trust in Jesus, then you're in Jesus, and his holiness drapes over you. You're more beautiful than you imagine. I don't know about you, but I love that phrase, his holiness drapes over you. Just like when we were little and maybe mum or dad would wrap us in a blanket or in a towel after we've come out of the sea. What a fantastic image, holiness draping over us. So what image do you have of yourself? I know quite a few of us don't have good images of us, often because of what other people have said. And how does that compare to the image God has of you? Remember, we are all made in his image. Just take some time today to thank God for who you are and who he is making you into. God bless.